Hello everyone, this is Fenris Lycon, here for the start of 2022, doing something a little bit new, doing Omnifactory in Minecraft. It's an expert pack, and just because the beginning of pretty much all packs are the same, I did just the beginning gathering resources, and we're going to be starting on kind of getting these tools, which is kind of like getting you into like the first era. And I'm going to be using these work tables. So to just kind of set them up, the first thing is we're going to want the hammer, and then we're going to want to teach our table of how to make plates, and hopefully this still works. Yep, perfect. The next thing we want is going to be the file, which will be like so. And this will learn so we can kind of go back. We'll want a wrench. We don't need all of these to start, but they will kind of get us going, and it doesn't really hurt. Whoops, not quite that. File, hammer, we'll have our saw blade, attach that to a stick, right? Oh, why does that not want to seem to work? Well, we'll just, should actually be able to just do it in our inventory. There we go. We'll lock these, and then this one will get cleared out as we keep going. So we'll need to do our file to get, I need to move over some rods. And it should be 2 rods, a file, and a hammer. Plus a stick, of course. Might as well leave a few in here. This one's kind of a pain in the butt. So it needs all the tools we've kind of made previously. So we can go get 2 of these. In fact, we'll need 3. And we can lock these. We'll probably let that one go. The saw, and we should be able to cut these in half to get bolts. And then I believe it's 2 bolts. The file, we got us our screw. And we've already kind of very much gone through. And now we need our plates. So it's 3 of these plates, our screw, and 2 of our handles. I think it's the file, screwdriver, and hammer. Nope, got that wrong. Hammer, file, screwdriver. So got it backwards. Hammer, file, screwdriver. Perfect. And this fits actually quite well into a work table. So now we have kind of a way to easily remake our tools if we so need them. We will have to kind of put them in here. And that gets us, actually I might actually have to take them out so the our quest book actually sees them. I need to do the mortal in pestle, but we'll do that manually. We probably don't need that. It's one of the things we don't quite need. And these tools we need until we get the machines. And then we will have a better way to do that. So we can claim our rewards. And these nickels is ways in which we can buy additional resources if we don't find them. I've found currently a copper vein. I've done quite a bit of mining. So we have a bit of a ton of copper, a little bit of iron, and that's going to be something we're going to probably need more. And so we're doing good there. Let's look at the next thing we're going to work on. I do want to upgrade our furnace. So if we surround one of our furnaces with iron, we'll get a upgrade there. What happened to my furnace? Oh well, they're cheap enough to make. And these will be more fuel efficient. I think give it a moment. Next one is copper. So we can take our iron, surround it with copper, and get the next version. And each one will do our smelting a little bit faster and save a little bit of fuel. And this goes up all the way to, so we don't have any silver, to obsidian, which lets you do 2. Alright, that was a pretty easy, low-hanging fruit for some more coins. The next thing we kind of want to do is rubber, so we can actually eventually get into actually making machines. I'm going to need a lot of it. There is a recipe in which you can do plant balls into slime balls. I really do find the easiest way is to go out into the world, explore a little bit, and find a rubber tree, because you're going to need a lot of it. But we'll just do that for our recipe or our quest. Actually, they might have changed this, so we can... No, sorry, this does smelt one at a time, but we can store extra stuff. So with the slime ball, if we smelt it again, but I have already found a rubber tree, so I already have some. And let's get in another work table down. And this work table, we're going to use it to kind of do our electronics. I do have to clear a few of these buildings out. I think it wants us to make 3 of these, if I'm not mistaken, in the book. Yep. And we should... this will allow us to turn machines on and off. What do we need to get into the next age? The most beginning of machines. Well, we'll go and just keep doing the quest. We need 6. And I need more rubber. I will be right back once I've gotten that rubber and have a few more of our quest ready to go. A little bit more mining in the future. And whoops, we have our materials we need. And we've unlocked it further down. Wasn't revealed. That's why it was kind of throwing me off. Didn't take very long to do any of this kind of mining. This pack does try to minimize kind of that grindiness, even though it's an expert pack. So we need to make alloys, and to do that, we need to make these dusts. To do that, we're going to want to take our mortar, and we're going to want to grind down a whole bunch of these dusts. So we got the copper. For the alloy, we want to, or the red alloy dust, we're going to want to do redstone and copper. I hope I have enough redstone. I, in fact, do not. Yeah, I'm quite a bit off. I have not found a redstone vein yet, so I will have to go exploring for that. This pack does give us a scanner to start with all kind of the upgrades, so it's pretty easy to do that. I just need to go down and find one. I'll be right back, and I think that's the last thing we need before we can start building. Let me just double check. that, for example, these irons, I don't need anything. Yeah, I just need redstone. Yeah, and we will be able to actually start building our machines. I'll be back again. So we have a redstone and ruby. And so it's very, very easy, especially because it starts you with kind of these diamond mining to get all the kind of resources we need. So let's head back to the surface where we can get that crafting going. Back to the surface, and I ended up putting the recipes into here, did a little bit of smelting, and put them into the dust. So we need to get this red alloy, and we're going to use these to make our circuits, especially our primitive ones. And then we're going to use this conductive iron. This is going to be for the wires. In Omnitech, the GregTech wires, they don't... Oh, I need... they don't... There's some of them that don't have EU loss, which is very, very useful. Makes things quite a bit simpler. Okay, so we should have all of our dusts we need for that. And in fact, I made a little bit extra. So we'll get those smelted right away. And once that's done, we'll be back and we'll make our wires and very shortly our first circuits. So we have all of our dusts cooked up into their alloys. And before we go to making the circuits, there's one thing I want to show. We've been getting these coins and we haven't found silver. We do know that the next upgrade for our furnace is a silver one. And so if we click on kind of like the normal, so it doesn't work, but on the normal looking one, you can see there's a recipe to get ores. So we're going to get a little bit of this silver ore, get that cooking, so that next time we'll have that all set. So we're going to need to make plates. So let's get that going. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to need both red alloy plates. We're going to need this iron. And that should be it. And let's see, how much do we need to make for the quest? 7 and 16. We'll get that done then. So I believe it's 16 of this. And I could have, of course, gotten it backwards, but... And 7, but we'll do 12. We'll just do it all. And I don't think I actually took it out, so I did not. Make sure it registers. Yep. Now we're going to convert this into wire. It's pretty easy. We're going to just take our wire cutters that we made. Oops, I have it in the wrong spot. Well, shucks. It needs to be in the middle. I'm surprised it's not a shapeless recipe, so we'll convert all 16 of these. Could always just have shift collected. We'll do the same thing with our red alloy. Excellent. So we have from dust to wires complete. We have even a quarter, so put that aside for now. And now we're going to be making progress to kind of our circuits. These are what we're going to need to be making for our first machines. And there's quite a lot to it. We have to make this substrate pretty easy. And let's see. We'll probably make it in this machine, the substrate. So I'm just going to grab a bunch of this. And we'll teach the substrate. I'll need more sticky resin, most likely. So we'll lock all of this. I don't think... The problem with this is often with these things is they're very hard to fit everything. So this one's a more advanced recipe. And a lot of the Omnitech, there's a more efficient way to do it that you can kind of go back. So we're going to need paper. I should have been... Rice is actually an easy way to make paper. Getting kind of more sugarcane. we might have a few books. So we'll do, let's see, I do have a few books. We'll be kind of lazy and just convert them over. So, oh, there's spiders. Let's get these recipes kind of onto the edge over there. And we also need coal dust. That's pretty easy for us to go. And copper wire. Copper wire is also another thing that's pretty easy to make. So we'll actually do all of our wires in here. So we need to teach it how to make a copper plate. And likewise, copper wire. I believe we needed 2 of those. So in a lot of like kind of Greg Tech Expert Pack, it's always worth it to make extras. There's no reason to kind of do like constantly the micro crafting. We need coal dust. So I hopefully, and I believe this is like the tricky part too, is it has to be coal. It cannot be charcoal. So hopefully I didn't burn it. Okay, I do have a little coal. Perfect. And we have our mortar and pestle. So we might, if we're going to try and do it in here, which we might not actually be able to do. Maybe this is just going to be all of the kind of supplies. It's kind of cool that it gives us the choice. So we have that. And now we should be able to make our resistors. Make a few of those. And for vacuum tubes. Very similar, except we need to make this glass tube. Pretty easy, glass panes. So we'll need to kind of use... We're going to have to do it between these two then. We might even want... I'll make another crafter. So, glass. And I didn't think about doing the glass. So I didn't get any sand, but there's a way in which to get sand pretty easily. So if I grab our mortar and pestle, I can go and convert our gravel into sand, just for now. Get that smelted up very quickly. And I'll speed things up right now. And once this is done, we should only need 6 pieces. So that's 3. This one's way faster. You can kind of see the difference. There we go. There's our 6. So we have our panels. We're going to do it in this one, at least for the glass tubes. Get all of those. Now, everything here kind of takes the same. We need a little bit more wire. I'm going to quickly lock all of these. And we should now have our glass tubes. I need 2 of them. That's okay. Is it? Nope. More wires. This is what the work tables are kind of very nice to have. Very easy to do a new recipe over. So we have this done. We can claim it. Quarter is pretty good. We need to make some cables. So it wants us to make 7 of these. This one's already full. We might as well lock it in. This one we could do. We're going to end up being a little awkward, having to go back and forth. So I will make, I think, a few more of these work tables. Help break things up. I also need more rubber. So I'll work on that. And I'll probably clear out that building over there where all those spiders are, so they can kind of leave us alone in the noise. And we'll be back once I have more rubber. And just so if you're trying to play along, there is 2 axes. There's these lumber axes, and they vein mine kind of wood and tree things that will use axe. They'll vein mine, so I highly recommend you kind of use that, and you find yourself some of these rubber trees, because you'll need tons and tons and tons of this sticky resin. So with that kind of done, we'll go back to our little building, and this, of course, is, if you're wondering, takes place in Lost City mod is the one it uses. So we have kind of our rubber now. I mostly cleared that out. There's still a little few left over. So let's get a whole bunch of these rubber sheets. And in fact, I'm gonna get a second hammer so I don't have to keep moving them back and forth. And I need just a few sticks. We'll get a whole bunch of rubber. I should have just shift-clicked it like I did there. Okay. We need the red alloy. We are making it here, but we used all of that. So we need to make more, is what you're saying. Okay. I'm going to be back once I have kind of more... Oh, we actually have the wires. Never mind. So we should be able to just... Yeah, just one. And we'll have... I think I did too many. I think it only wanted us to do 7. We'll end up using it, so it's not a big deal. I might have to make more. Now, we are here with our first circuit, and we need one more thing. We need to make this wrought iron plate. Of course, I converted all my wrought iron into my hammer. So I'll get some of that. I just need to make sure I also don't need... I do not need any normal ones. Okay, I'll be right back once I have that wrought iron, and we'll make our first circuit, and we'll be well on our way to making our first machines. Okay, we have our wrought iron plates, and we can make some circuits. And we have extra, I made a little bit of extra of these components, the vacuum tubes and resistors, because we're going to need them. And we officially have our first circuits. And if we go back, we are now officially in tier 1. So all of these are the kind of tier 1, and as we get more advanced, we can make them easier and easier, but we have to make these really kind of bad circuits. But with these circuits, we can start making our first machines. To actually use these machines, though, we will need power. And to do that, we're going to need this steam dynamo. But we're going to do that in the next episode, where we're actually going to set up our power and our first machines. Let me know how you're liking this episode. This is the first time you do like a game in a series. It's kind of tough. So get your rhythm. Let me know if you have any tips, if there's anything you would like me to do more or less of. The beginning of these like expert packs, they tend to be a lot of gathering until you get the machines up. You can get like running faster. So I'm trying to keep it more focused on that crafting bit. And yeah, I also upgraded our furnace, put down some storage chests for kind of just the massive amounts of ores. But until next time, this is Furnace Lycon signing off, and this has been Omnifactory.